Hello there. You have either successfully joined or you are watching the recording of the Easy Software webinar called AI in Project and Work Management. Good for you. You probably came in here with some questions. So did I. I have 4 questions for today. How do companies work with AI and how does it benefit them? What are the use cases around AI influencing project and work management? And then, is Liverpool going to win and advance against PSG in the Champions League? And are Lakers going to win the NBA championship this year? Finally. Now, I can promise you that at least 2 of those questions will be answered today. You will have to sort of stick around to find out which ones they're going to be. My name is Lucas Hubka. I'm a sales director here at Easy Software. And if you're now thinking, boo, there's a sales director on my webinar, do not be worried. I am not here to lead this webinar. I'm not here to drop some knowledge bombs on you. I am here to moderate and host this webinar. I got guests here. I mentioned Lakers and NBA for a reason, because I have the best basketball player of Easy Software here with me, and coincidentally also the chief operating officer or the chief of overcoming obstacles, Daniel Zach. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have a senior professional consultant with us on the call, David Pavlíček. Hello, David.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Beautiful. We're doing well. We're going to be doing even better once we're done with this webinar, once we get to share everything that we've prepared for today. Then I think there's a burning question on the other side of that little screen, and that is, why are we here today?
Me personally, I am here to talk about AI, obviously. I am here to share our AI story, to share our experiences, to give real life examples, to give some numbers, and to basically tell a little story how we incorporated AI at Easy Software and how we made it our product. Hopefully, I will inspire our audience, but most importantly, I just want to be myself and talk from my position.
It's something that everybody told us, just be authentic. So that's what we're trying to do, or that's what we will try to do. What will you get out of this webinar? You will get insight into AI in our field. So plenty of information applicable outside of our software. You will get insight into how Easy Software tackles AI, both the challenges and opportunities that are connected to it. And we will sort of divide it into 3 pillars. More on that later. I'm just going to go through the administration basics. This webinar is being recorded. So if you'll want to share this with any of your peers, colleagues, friends, family, you are more than welcome to do so. The recording will be sent to you automatically once we're done. The goal here is to have about 30 to 40 minutes discussion about AI in project management, and then we're going to move into a Q&A. There is a specific functionality here in the Zoom Q&A. Please use that. My colleague David Pavlíček will sort of monitor these questions throughout the call, and then once we get through the discussion, we will get to the questions. We will get through as many of them. There will be some outstanding ones. We can take them offline. I have a lot of questions consolidated here on the laptop on my lab, coincidentally, from multiple sources, clients, partners. Some of them are internal. I will read as many of them, and you will do the heavy lifting. You will actually have to deliver the answers. So let's start. Dan, in your point of view, how does AI influence our world? Our world, I mean, project management, work management, this kind of thing.
I will start with Easy Software's world because that's the one close to me. And maybe start with the beginning because when we started paying attention to AI, we perceived it as a hype, but also as a potential game changer. We were actually talking about the possible scenario that it will trigger some kind of technological revolution. I can't really tell it is true or not, but for us, it was something that basically the AI train was something we wanted to jump on because we kind of thought that, in the future, if we're not going to do it, we will be in disadvantage. And we started with encouraging people internally. Our founder and CEO, Filip Moravec, was and still is the biggest promoter of AI adoption. And we encourage people to experiment, to find the use cases and to evaluate them. And like that, we were finding, I really want to give you a few examples. So we find a couple of areas, couple of use cases that we were able to adopt pretty quickly. We started to create more content, finding new ways to create content. We were using a lot of text-to-speech and text-to-video. We also started to use AI translations. We figured We are doing faster discoveries and basically addressing a wider scope when we are using smart research tools. And we also focused on knowledge transfer because knowledge is critical. It needs to be fast and precise. And we do that through adopting AI note taker. And also it was a cornerstone of development for our own knowledge assistant hooked to our own database. So I would say it affects us. It depends how you approach it. You need to find the right use cases. But for us, we basically went through a mind shift toward embracing AI. And now it is part of our culture and it is also part of our product.
I've been doing software sales for close to 10 years. At this point, I've worked with literally hundreds of clients, and I've seen like one common example repeating itself over and over again. That would be some form of adoption or change management, let alone with AI. Like I've seen plenty of my peers that have not touched AI yet because they simply can't really explain to themselves why they should do it. You've mentioned part of it is a hype. Do you have anything to sort of prove that it's not just a hype, some benefits, something tangible for the people on the other side?
Don't get me wrong, it is hype, but as I mentioned, it is about how you approach it. It's about the way you use it and the way you try to answer for it. For us, for me specifically, and I believe I can talk for a whole management, we rarely do strategic decisions based on just hype or feeling. So we are making sure, and we were making sure that once we are trying to test something and prove something, we set measurable outcomes so we can see the real benefits and can evaluate if it makes sense or not. And since we are pretty far in adoption right now, I'm happy I can actually present some specific numbers. I will be getting through the numbers as we were going, but now I can just share a few global numbers. We are saving dozens of man days each month because of using AI, and we are about 90 people on board, so dozens of man days is pretty significant for us. We know that we increasing our efficiency about 10%, 10%, so almost an hour a day per person, only by using AI. We know that we already saved thousands of euros per project. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, because it really depends whether it is because of deeper discovery or more proper planning or just an AI support during the operational phase. And the great thing about that people are happy. We're getting great feedback about using AI. They're happy that they have something that can really extend their capabilities. And if we put the numbers into context, we basically figure out that there are three main areas, we could call them pillars, that basically holds the major benefits. And those three are increased efficiency and productivity. So basically, we are doing the stuff that we already do, but we do them better. The second one is innovation and new capabilities. So we are doing new things and we are doing things differently. And the third one is talent scaling, under which I see scaling of business, but also people satisfaction. So multiplying capacity of our team, putting people and AI together to create stronger team, and keeping talents that we want to keep and acquire new talents.
You have kind of touched on it, at least I feel like you have, but what would you say is the future that is coming for every single person that joined here, that listens to the recording, but not only, I would say, to most of their friends, especially in the IT sector?
I don't really see myself as a visionary AI expert, but I can try to give you a guess, or at least what I'm thinking. There is a term I've seen recently, which is hybrid organizations, which basically is a company that accepted AI and embraced AI as its own resource. And I believe more and more companies are going to do that. So probably those who will not will be lagging or just being disadvantaged. And it's not just my thought, because we are doing our research to make sure that we are on the right path. And I can just borrow like two research results. One from McKinsey, which reports that companies using AI-powered automation saves 10 to 15% consistently on efficiency improvements. And the second one is from Gartner, which is closer to project management. And that says that AI helps project managers to save about 8 to 9 hours weekly. So basically a whole man day. So as I mentioned, I cannot really tell you how the future is going to look like, but I can talk about how it works for us now and what we are focusing on.
The closest we can do is provide numbers done by reputable companies, right? Like McKinsey, Gartner, just makes sense. But I mean, it was on the screen, and you mentioned the three pillars. The first one, if I'm not mistaken, was the increased efficiency and productivity. Can we touch on it a little deeper, at least like dip our toes into it a little bit more?
Yeah. Start with a basic idea, select the use case, ask the question, how can I automate it? How can I involve AI to make it either faster, you know, or whatever I'm looking for here. And it is good to take into account the basic criteria. Ask yourself, is it our bread and butter? Is it something we do regularly? Is it simple enough to be delegated? And those are the criteria that you should take into account to picking the cases. And I want to give you a few examples. What were those cases in, you know, at Easy Software? Task and ticket management. We are a project management software company, and we provide help desk. We use help desk, and our clients use help desk. So thousands, 10,000s of tickets are basically coming through the Easy Redmine software every day. And we already know that we addressed the repetitiveness of the ticket solution process, the cycle. With our help desk assistant, so we answer that need, and we know that we can save 5 to 15 minutes per ticket resolution. So if you just multiply that by number of tickets you have in your company, that gives you a number that you can potentially save. Also related to tickets, but more to tasks. Sometimes tasks are pretty long. There is a long history, a lot of comments. It takes a lot of time to kind of get oriented. That was our need, something that we did every day, and we addressed that through task summary, which basically does the summary for me in a matter of seconds. To move a little bit further, what is pretty time consuming is a search for information. We know that it takes us about 20% of our capacity. This also actually is supported by McKinsey's research. So we know it's not only us. And we addressed that through, it was actually cornerstone for developing our knowledge assistant. And like that, we are able to provide and shorten the way to get the precise information from minutes to seconds. Something more on the outside, our developers, outside meaning external resource, are developers using GitHub Copilot for debugging and, let's say, routine coding. And it saves them about an hour a day for person. And something from front office, cannot forget about those guys. We use AI Notekeeper, and we use Lexi, which basically gives us meeting summaries. We have custom templates, so the AI fills the brackets, answering the question that we need to ask. It also allows us to share that across company. For me, I would be happy to be on a lot of meetings. I shouldn't, because the whole hour spent on a meeting and you don't really know whether there'll be something interesting. I can just look at the summaries, share it across company, and that saves us about 30 man days a month. Again, we are about 90, 30 man days is a lot.
But preaching to the choir, obviously this AI assistant or the note taker is something that I've been using heavily. I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago, and when I get back, I don't have to like watch all the management recordings, but I get to like use the transcripts and then ask our AI, for example, show me all the parts within these recordings where somebody mentions Lucas. So I know that somebody's like targeted something towards me or they talk bad about me, whatever that is. And in terms of the transcripts, for example, from conversations, not just internally, but with clients as well, something that I have done recently is that I've taken about like 30 of my transcripts from talks with my clients to sort of understand if there's like a common theme or a common topic that I'm sort of missing. If there's like a specific question that's being repeated all over and over that I'm having troubles answering, for example, or if there are some good parts within the calls where it goes well that I would like to sort of identify more. There is one more sort of attached thing to it. It's kind of like a sneak peek into what we will be talking about in the future. And there's like the security, right? Because taking transcripts of discussions with your clients and just like uploading them anywhere you want, probably not the smartest idea, but we will get to that. What about, let me put it this way. Is there anything else you want to talk about in this pillar, or can we move to the innovation and new capabilities?
Let's go to innovation and new capabilities.
All right, then. Innovation and new capabilities. What can you tell me about it?
starting again with the basic idea, AI can help you to unlock new ways of working, and I can present you 3 ways or 3 examples. First is saving time by delegating activities to AI. As I was talking about the criteria, I don't want to repeat it again, but basically pick the activities that can be delegated to AI. That means that you will save time for activities that you need to do as a human, use your experience. There also more time for creativity and innovation because you're not bothered with the routine tasks. Again, if I use a few numbers, I come from project management, so I can relate to them.
Right.
So I can relate to them a lot. And we actually know that just the planning phase takes about 10 to 20% allocations of our project managers. We address that through Project Planner, which is actually able to save about 80% of the time. The other thing, which is something that project managers just have to do every week, is project reports. I sometimes have about 10 projects on my backs, and it is literally hours spent on just going through the projects. And we address this as well through project summary. And basically, it all led for me and for our project managers to the state where I have more time to making the hard decisions, to be creative, to picking what I wanna focus on in projects. So that's basically the first one. So saving time and have time for, let's say, other stuff, the one you prioritize. The second is enhancing your skill set. So adding new skills. With right tool, anyone can be a better writer. Anyone can be better content creator, even, I don't know, do graphic design. I need to mention multi-language cooperation. We actually address that through our Write Assistant. So, quick AI translation, communicating multiple languages, that barrier is broken by it now. And the third one, I would just say higher quality and broader coverage. And the example I have for this is, again, project planning. Because again, my experience, you start a project, you get a project brief or contract or stack of documentation, and you have to plan the whole thing. And it is hours and hours of looking into that stuff. It's frustrating because you have to read everything, you have to put it down, you have to process it. And you have to take into account everything: timeline, budget, allocations, risks. That was my, let's say, my pain, which was addressed. Thank you for that. Thank you, Easy developers, for that. It was addressed by Project Planner because the Project Planner does the processing for me. It will read through that, and especially to say what impact it has besides the time, risks, because risk is something that can be omitted pretty easily. You don't find it in the contract, or you just do not assess it right. AI does that for me, and then I could just come up to the Easy8. I see the project pre-planned, pre-processed, and I can do decisions on my own.
A few thoughts, if I may develop on this, is one thing is handovers. You've mentioned that, like this, for example, starting the project from some documentation is one of your pains that you wanted to resolve. For me, for example, handovers from sales to project, like once sales actually sells something and they need to deliver it and create a project out of it, across multiple companies, it has notoriously been like a sort of like a pain point, like a bottleneck. So for example, using AI to give all these project managers these transcripts that the AI can help them understand what the client is about, and then the functionality to build the project properly, that can save a lot of frustration. We work with multiple nationalities within the sales team, so just all the language translations is very helpful for us. And you sort of mentioned that the AI can help you sort of break barriers between you, so you can be creative and analytical at the same time. Sort of makes sense to me, related to one of the conferences that we are preparing right now in Hanover, the manufacturing ones, in breaking the silos, for example. Easy8 helps break silos between teams and departments, and it feels like AI will sort of break these silos within that specific person. So I kind of like that. But to be honest, let's pretend this is just a role play, right? Let's pretend that I am a person that is not motivated to do things better and become better. What's the driving force for me? Not everyone wants to just look for ways to improve themselves, right? Like, what convince me if I'm a little bit lazy?
I'm glad you said you're going to pretend, because otherwise I would be questioning if you are in the right company.
It's a role play.
It's a role play. All right. So adopting any change is almost always challenging. But I believe I can get you on board by just following 4 simple steps. Know you better, actually know what you're doing, and know your case, address your needs, be able to demonstrate be able to demonstrate and get it closer to you. And if I go one by one, know you, meaning I know what you're doing, and know your case, meaning look at your daily spend time and I see how much time you spend, let's say, on meeting preparations or notes from a meeting. So I have a use case. Now I address your needs. You're a salesperson. You are motivated by making new deals, ego boost and bigger bonuses. So now I have a case and I have your motivation. Now I need to do the demonstration. So I'm going to show you how we will apply AI, how it will save you the time on meeting summaries or meeting preparation. You will see how much time it gives you. And I just tell you, all right, and then you have all that time to make more deals. So I address your need. And the last one, which is important to not forget about it. I need to get it closer to you, as close as possible. So less clicks, the better. If you don't have to switch the types, ideally, just to make sure that it doesn't mean too much trouble to get actually the help from the AI.
Makes sense. So now I'm hooked, the role play is over, and let's go back to when I'm actually a qualified sales director. Okay, so we've gone through the increased efficiency, productivity, through innovation and new capabilities. What about the last one? There was third pillar, right?
Yeah, talent scaling. After talent scaling, I see four, let's say three. I see three areas, like sub areas. One is upscaling business. The other one is people satisfaction, and the third one is talent acquisition. For upscaling business, just for examples, you can pick what processes you automate or semi-automate. So they are low maintenance or no maintenance. The second, you basically can give any person in your company his own personal assistant, the one that's always there with you. It's cheap, and it can be basically right in your pocket. The third one, you can multiply the capacity of your team either through new skills, getting through AI, or just saving time. They can just do more work, which is good. It is good for all managers. Every manager wants that. And the fourth one is creating hybrid teams, so combining human potential and AI potential. So that's just general examples for the business scaling. People satisfaction, super important. I talk with that I combine those topics because I believe those are the ones that are important to build sustainable business. That's why I connect them together. And people are just happy if their work is easier. If you give them the opportunity to focus on stuff, they're happy to do. If you give them an opportunity to not do the routine tasks that they do every day and just be creative, innovative, everyone can find its own thing. And we actually see that it works at Easy Software because 92% of our workers are using AI at least once a day. And 65% of our employees stated that it significantly improves their job satisfaction. So that's the effect that it has on current people and the new people. Let's just put it this way. A talent's usually seeking pro-innovative environment. AI is the current thing. That's probably the way that most of the companies are focusing on. If you are not, the new talents probably won't see you as as the future of their next occupation.
Right.
And I can see it especially with young people because they're already used to AI being like a regular thing. So and it's not only me. I actually can use the direct citations I have written here. It's from Project Management Institute, and they state that organizations that lack in AI adoption will struggle to attract talent. So basically, if young people come to your company and you tell them, hey, we don't do AI, it can be a showstopper for them.
Right. Okay, I like what you said about bringing the AI closer to people, because, for example, we could tell them in project management, integrate several AI solutions and then build this AI sort of ecosystem out of it. And to many of them, it will be a lot of effort. Why I'm saying this is I have a question here that says, what inspired us to integrate AI features into Easy Redmine? And we're sort of transitioning from the general AI talk a little bit more into Easy Redmine. So can you give me like the too long, don't read short form content for LinkedIn? Because I'm sure our marketing would love it.
All right, 3 drivers or 3 reasons, 3 points of motivation, however you want to put it. First, understanding that AI excels if it has the right context. So it needs to be close to your business data, and it needs to be the AI results are only as good as the data you give to it. The second is AI needs to be close to people. I already mentioned that. So lesser click, the better. Straight in the application using every day, ideal. And AI needs to support relevant use cases. And the third one is security, which is a huge topic for us when we are looking for secure software in project and work management. We actually couldn't find any that would fit our needs, so we created our own. And I believe we were the first one, probably, and maybe we still are, the first and only project and work management solution that is deployable on premise.
Right. That's a nice claim. You should start using it in sales. I have a few questions here. Sort of, I've tried to consolidate. We've had some visions, we've had some iterations, I'm sure, throughout the development of our Easy AI module, some validation processes. Can you tell us a little bit more where and how we've integrated AI?
We have a huge advantage that we are developing something that we use every day. Easy8, we use that every day. Our AI assistants we use every day. And because of that, we are quite flexible. So we were able to look at the cases or look at the activities we do daily, our users do daily, our clients do daily. And based on that, pick the cases we will try to find a solution for. Then we iterate it. And since we are using it every day, we're able to, let's say, evaluate the potential value pretty quickly. And this is basically how the 6 AI assistants, the AI extension, came alive. Because it is built on our key features. It is built on key features, all key activities, the ones that our users doing the most. And to touch that a little, or maybe we have David here, right?
We do have David, and I think with David, we sort of agreed that if we have time for it, which we do, he will be able to actually show some of it, since we're already talking about Easy8 anyway, so, right? So why not just dive into it a bit? David, can you take over for a few minutes?
Here, and David is waiting for his opportunity to contribute to this discussion.
There you go, David. Go and shine bright like a diamond.
Let me share my screen. Okay, first. All right, so you mentioned that we have AI assistants on board. And so let's see which ones they are. This is just a brief overview of our assistants in Easy8. So we have 3 groups of assistants. You can see it here, and then I'll show you the practical case. First, we have a personal AI, personal assistant. That's a knowledge assistant where you ask 4 questions and get answers. We have a task summary because we work a lot with tasks, and we have a write assistant. Okay, then for project managers, we have AI project planner, something Daniel mentioned. AI project status when you are already managing a project. And for those who use help desk, we have a help desk assistant. So now let's see what they do actually. Okay. So this is our application, and as I said, our software is about project management. So projects, there's a lot of projects and they are full of tasks and there is never enough time. So how to make my life a bit easier with AI task summary, the first assistant. I just jumped into a random task here. It's quite long. I don't have time to read it. So why don't I use this AI task summary where I can get everything summarized in bullet points, right? So, okay, I know what, it's still too long. Maybe a summarize in short text would be quicker. All right, a software company seeks an experienced IT channel sales professional to build a partner network in Western Europe. Cool, that's what I needed. Interested, yes or not? But I know right away. Or maybe if you want to know the details and you're not really comfortable with English, yeah, we were talking about the languages. So maybe I would like to translate it to perhaps the French, which I understand better than English. Okay, so you don't have to fight with it. You can just make your life easier. So there was task summary, task assistant. Next one would be a help desk assistant for those who use our help desk. And it's automatically activated on every help desk project and every ticket. And it's right under the AI task summary right here, help desk assistant. And it's both simple and complex at the same time. Complex, well, and simple. Simple because there is just a button where you click generate ticket answer, and complex because there is a master prompt in the background that does everything for you. Well, this is a practical example. Earlier this week, we had an issue with the automatic deactivation of help desk mailboxes. So I copied this from our production. So let's see what the cause was. So you can ask AI what's going on based on the ticket and its history and its comments. Okay, all right, and we have a solution here. All right, it seems that Microsoft there was Microsoft server issue, so the issue was on the Microsoft side. So what do I do with it? I can just right away paste it as a comment into the ticket and send it to the client. And well, do they understand well English? Maybe they would like to have it in different language, and that's the time for our write assistant. That's the yellow button right here, which I can use to translate it, for instance, to Spanish. Perfect. So in few clicks, you can get an answer from Helpdesk Assistant, and you can just, get it in any language you like, and you can just send it to your customer right away, if you like. Okay. If you are project managers, what takes a lot of time, really, and Daniel was still talking about it, is planning the project. Imagine, and this is a real case, let me show you something. This is a contract between Easy Software and our partner, with which we did a marketing research, and they helped us in one project. And this is a real case contract, and I'm going to use it to show you how easily you can plan a project using our project planner assistant. See that this contract has something like 14 pages with detailed information. Imagine how much time would take this to you to copy paste everything and create project out of scratch. So instead, you can click on this yellow plus button, click new project. And some of you may know that there are several ways how to create project in our software. First, out of scratch, you just write down everything from the beginning. The second, maybe you would like to use a template. And the third one, if you like, you can use our AI project planner. So we'll name it. We can pick a template. So there can be some data in the template already, such as project members, some basic tasks like project management tasks or reporting tasks, but the rest will come from the document that you simply drag and drop into this area. Then down below, you pick what kind of data you would like to receive, and you can choose. But for now I'll leave everything on and click save. And now it's just about time, which usually takes between 1, 2, or 3 minutes. But let's not waste time. I suppose I did it before, so I'll click and see what the result is. And there was this one, LAO Strategic Marketing Project. So that's what you should get as a result. You get a new project, and on the first page on the project dashboard, you'll find different tabs generated by our AI, our project planning assistant. So you can get information such as logical framework input. If you are managing projects, it's typical for small projects. Using logical framework, here we go. You get basic information. You get the project schedule, key milestones, and deliverables, right? What and when. Then you can get a cost summary as well, budget summary. What next? Daniel was also talking about risk. So you get initial risk evaluation and mitigation strategies. And also, project is a lot about stakeholders, about those who pay for it, who take a benefit out of it, etc. So our AI assistant can identify the key stakeholders and just create a communication plan, right? And of course, there is also closure or acceptance criteria. And that's not it. Okay, we get some information in form of dashboards, in form of text that you can use, but also the tool will create automatically the scope of the project, the work breakdown structure, the graphical decomposition of the project scope. So we have the tasks organized in a tree, and also there is a Gantt chart that you can use. So imagine how many hours I've just saved using this assistant. On few clicks, I have like most of the project plan, and then I need to just adjust what is ready. I can go to a dashboard. I can pick, I don't know, maybe review the potential risks here, and I can just go to risk module and create those that are relevant, right? Okay. Next one would be project status. Once you're managing your project or projects, imagine you're a project manager, you are managing 5, 6, or 10 projects at the same time. You don't have a Monday a week just to call everyone, email everyone, and just run around the building and try to find out what was going on all of your projects. Instead, you can make your life much easier and just get the basic information automatically. And then you can use it as a base for your reporting. So that's why we have AI project status assistant that does the initial reporting for you. So on regular basis, you get information about completed tasks, updated tasks, work that has been done, scheduled tasks for next period, and problematic tasks. You can create new report anytime. You can pick what kind of information you want to get in it. You can pick your time span. Is it monthly review, bi-weekly or weekly review? And you can set it for automatic creation for each period. So it saves really many hours, and that you can use it really as a base for your reporting towards management, right? So, and maybe, well, it's not it. We still have knowledge assistant. So what would we ask him? Maybe, okay, let's see, Daniel. Who's Daniel Zach anyway?
I'm asking the same question.
We are in our internal system. So maybe, okay, Daniel Zach is the Chief Operations Officer at Easy Software. All right, so it's now proven. And maybe what are his responsibilities? So see, this knowledge assistant is a tool that you can use anytime to ask questions and just have a conversation. So the conversation continues. What are his responsibilities? Yeah, you can see them. And even better, you have references that you can use to click through. And this is Daniel's job scorecard. So that would be, our AI assistants. So thanks for your attention.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. A way to put Daniel on the spot, like if our knowledge assistant had a hiccup and tried to claim something else about David not being a COO, Daniel not being a COO, he would immediately lose all his credibility, but luckily not. Thank you for the presentation, for the demonstration. I was going through a lot of questions that I had from my clients that I sort of picked up and promised to ask. A lot of them were answered, so I don't have to ask them. Quick sales pitch, because I can't just forgive myself, or I just can't not do it. You can go to easyredmine.com and start a trial account. If there's any of this you want to test on your own, feel free to do so, because it seems simple and it seems pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, thank you, David. I'm glad that you presented what I was talking about, because it can be hard to imagine. I'm talking about a few clicks, and David just showed it. And I'm also glad that you all see that I'm not an imposter, and I'm a real person here at Easy Software. And yes, it is nice. This is just demonstration of our own. There is plenty of others. I believe our audience has broad experience with different type of tools. I just need to mention, I don't want it to be missed out. And you already asked about it, is the security. So just be aware of security risk when you're picking your AI tool.
Since you brought it up, how do we deal with that? Because it's kind of like a strong message that we use towards our clients. So makes it reasonable to mention here.
I don't even have to be technical. I really want to give an answer that is usable for our audience. Make sure when you're picking the AI tool, make sure you do proper due diligence and make precautions, because without it, you don't know where your data goes. People tend to use and upload sensitive data into our own personal chats, for example, ChatGPTs, but there are also worse ones. Be aware that free services are using the data that you give into it for self-development and training. And that all basically leads to a real risk of NDA penalties, compliance breaking, and just data leaks. So I would say do the due diligence. A lot of do's. Do the due diligence. And I always give the answer if someone is asking me about security, what is the most I can do? I always have this simple answer: choose on-premise solution.
Right.
Just imagine that you have the server, you have the NI at your own house, you have the keys, and you're choosing the people who you give the keys to. And it's high priority for us. I was talking about it. It was one of our drivers why we developed our own, and we can proudly say that we created and integrated our own secured AI, and we can deliver it both on cloud and on premise.
Nice. So as a clarification for me, I've seen two groups of people who want to use AI, but they cannot because their company will not allow GPTs and stuff like that. For those, we have solution. And then people who struggle to find some nice use cases. For those, we have some assistance already prepared so they can sort of jump into it quickly. I feel like we're getting very close to the end of, let's say, of the talking section, so we can then slowly move into the questions and answers section. But maybe one quick question, like what should be the takeaway? What do you think should be the main takeaway from people that joined this webinar?
First, there will be a tangible takeaway. There will be our case study that will be sent to our attendees. And then something from me, I would just highlight it free insights. The first one is just think about a mind shift towards embracing AI. Because it can really gives you a superpowers. It can be something like legal steroids. I was talking about why, so I don't want to get back to it. Just think about it, and the least you can do is just support your colleagues to find the right use cases, and then do the evaluation on your own. The second is data quality. I've already mentioned that AI is only as good as the knowledge that is given to it. So knowledge management is pretty critical and is going to be more and more important. So if our audience is thinking about adopting, let's say, a knowledge assistant hooked to their own database, the database should be intact. And the last one, I will mention it again, is just be aware of security risks. So do the due diligence, and if you're not sure and you want to do the maximum, choose on-premise.
All right, beautiful. I feel like, I mean, with the data quality, it kind of plays into our software, right? Like we're all about working with data properly, having like a nice software that helps you with data-driven decisions, which means if you then put AI into it, just sort of works with easier in mind. I'm just putting it out there.
You said it.
I said it, exactly. All right, fair enough. Then I think at this point we can sort of close the official talk, like the discussion, and we can move a little bit towards the Q&A section. So first things first, thanks to everyone that has sticked around for now. There's a big potential that we will not be able to go through every single question, so we'll try to get through as many as possible within the next 15 minutes or so. And then obviously we are more than happy to deal with it offline, or like Daniel said, we have about 90 people behind the software, plus external teams, partners, externalists. So if you want to just start the trial or just get in touch with us directly to discuss your sort of AI vision and what you would want to do, feel free to do so. So let me start with the questions. There's the first one, but give me a second. I need to sort of paraphrase it a little bit just to make sure it's understandable. But it's basically about how do you plan to make sure that Easy AI will still get development in the future? I guess what they're saying is we've seen plenty of software companies that just develop a feature and they sort of forget about it. Now we're here, talking about our Easy AI module. So some commitment?
You need to believe, I guess.
There you go.
No. I would say probably everything I just said today kind of represents the passion and commitment that we have towards AI. Our own AI, we have actually full team dedicated to just AI. So that's maybe one criteria why you should believe me. The other one, we use it ourselves and we benefit from it, and we want to benefit more. So we have our own horse in the race. So we just want to, as I said, benefit more. And maybe it is because I kind of feel like this question leads towards the assurance that the quality of our AI will increase and it will follow up the trends. I can just say to that, now we have those 6 assistants. They are dedicated to this one, let's say there's one activity. It's always better to focus on that activity, so then we can scale the quality. So they're probably not going to be anything significantly different. They will be just getting better at those daily activities. And if there will be something different, it will probably be up to feedbacks from clients or up to us if you find the proper use case.
Thank you. Second question. There's a question somebody probably hit enter way too soon. There's, can you do? Nothing else. So then, can we do?
Yes, we can.
We can do. And then another one. What is your plan for the future? What other assistants are you planning to get into Easy Redmine?
Now I have to be careful because if I say something, if I give a commitment, the product owner is not going to like it.
Developers are listening behind that door, so.
Yes. We don't have set our product roadmap on regarding Easy AI. There is a possibility that there will be another assistant, but we would have to find as a strong case as we already have right now, or it would have to be something that clients really want. So we will definitely be driven by clients' feedback. So maybe if there are any clients or anyone who will be using our Easy AI, we're going to use your feedback and we need your feedback. So basically call to action for the future. But what we are probably going to be focusing on now is AI agents. And to just quickly understand the difference between assistant and agent, assistant basically needs a person and it extend his capabilities.
Right.
So sort of say agents are more autonomous and they are better in cooperating together. So we can basically stack multiple AI agents to, let's say, take the whole process or the whole chain, and then you're just waiting for the output. It will depend. So that will probably be the area we are going to be focusing on right now.
So the assistant leans more towards the first pillar, the improved efficiency, and then the agents that we're going to be focusing on are closer to the innovation.
Yes, we would like to be a full hybrid organization, maybe in the future, and we cannot do that without proper AI agents, and we want that to be possible for our clients as well.
I can bet that everyone on the other side of that screen would love to have their own assistant. Only before now, it wasn't really possible because it was too expensive with AI agents. Maybe not that much. This is a good question. From someone that's not very sure how to start adopting it, probably not getting that much, internal buy-in, as for example, here we do. Where should I start with adopting AI? Like, what should be the first use case for them? Can we somehow help?
Where to start adopting? What is the use case they should pick? That's the question. Oof. I don't feel confident in giving you the right answer, because I would say you should decide whether where you already know what is your bread and butter, what are the activities. I was talking about this criteria, right? So asking what we do often, what is manual work, what is simple enough to be delegated, and kind of like try to find those type of use cases. Those are probably the first on hand because they are, they can have the biggest impact because usually the manual work takes quite a lot of amount of time. Or you can start more globally, let's say, and you can focus on a bigger scope. So like general use cases that were already been proven. I've been talking about our numbers here that might be inspirational. I was talking about some external researches that can be also an inspiration to pick the case. But if I would shoot, I would say knowledge assistant is probably the one that can, cover the biggest scope, because everyone is looking for data. Questions are asking, all the time, and they're usually similar. It also helps you with onboarding. It helps you with training of your people. It helps you with a lot of stuff. And then I would just look maybe on some Copilot options, and the AI note taker is probably also a huge impact that can, gives you a global efficiency boost.
Are you okay with me making a promise that if somebody wants to like start, they can sort of come to us and we can sort of initiate in this discussion how they can utilize Easy8 best with our way of utilizing AI? Just say yes.
But David is here. It's probably going to be David.
It's probably going to be David. That's great.
Yes, I mean, we are open to talk about it and to try to help you to find the use cases, because our goal is to break silos for defining technology project, make human cooperation easier. So yeah, if you're interested in a consultation, we are probably able to do that for you.
Beautiful. Speaking of David, I've been going through some questions, but I couldn't really keep up. David, were there any questions in the Q&A that you think are worth looking into?
There is a bunch of questions that recently appeared. Maybe I can touch some of them. Max is asking, given that AI models like ChatGPT can hallucinate, as indicated by the disclaimer, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. What measures do you take to ensure accurate and reliable responses in a help desk environment? Well, generally, there are two ways. And in case of there is a master prompt in the behind, we do test it and we improve instantly. But you can also do on your own, because it's a lot about prompting. And we also have a feature that's called feedbacks. So if you ask maybe I can share it. If you ask our assistant here something like, what is AI, which was one of the questions, by the way, you get the answer and you can rate it.
To share? You're not sharing, by the way.
Sorry guys. So I used the knowledge assistant and I asked, what is AI? And this is the result. If you like it or dislike it, you can rate it here. Okay, so this one is pretty good. Okay, so you can comment it and submit feedback. So even if you implement the AI or if you use our AI, there is a feedback section where you get all kinds of feedbacks, whether people like or dislike them, and you see what feature they are linked to. So this way you can improve the prompts, the custom prompts that you can create. So that's one of the ways. Yeah, one thing is we improve in the background as we develop, as we instantly develop, and one thing is once you start using it and once you start preparing your own prompts, you can get the feedback from your users. So that would be one of the questions. And
We need to continue.
Julian, hello Julian, is asking, my tasks are being updated via email, so I have the email chains which contain the latest updates on my projects. How can AI summarize those emails contained on tasks? Okay, so once again I'll share screen, this one. All right, so if I have a task here, what I didn't mention all the options. Sorry, there was not enough time. But on the task summary, there are more options, such as summarize to-do list from comments. So that's another option. The tool can generate what was discussed and just do a summary. And also, by the way, we can turn the task content into a knowledge post. Another option. So hopefully this answers the question. Well, yeah. What else can we see? There was a question about what language models we are using. So we are using, well, you can have our implementation on-premise and on cloud. And so that's why we use two language models, OpenAI GPT, typically on cloud. But if you want to keep our software on premise, then I would recommend Llama as the language model we use for these purposes. If you want to keep your data in your environment and just stick with strict privacy. Okay. Anything else on your side, guys?
I mean, we're about 4 minutes before the deadline. We don't really want to go past the 1 hour mark because we're a project management company. We should stick to the time. There was quite a few questions that I was able to see. Like many of them are unfortunately not that addressable on this type of call because there can be many specifics to each AI installations. So once again, I'm just going to encourage every single one of you that have some kind of interest in it. Just get in touch with us throughout any channel that you will be able to find, and we will definitely be more than happy to engage in these discussions. There's like a lot of motion on the side or like behind the scenes, and this is really something that we want to lift off the ground and make it work even more that we already have. So every piece of experience is useful. Now I'm just thinking about what to do next. I think we are just about done. So if you don't mind me, I'll just sort of do the summary of what we spoke about and quickly close out the webinar. Thank you everyone that joined here. We've had literally hundreds of registrants. If there will be more questions towards our Easy AI module, we will definitely do something like this again because it just makes a lot of sense. Like I said, it's something where we've put a lot of chips into. We spoke about some general applications of AI in project and work management. We spoke a lot about EasyRedMine as well. There's obviously a lot more to say, to be said about EasyRedMine. This webinar was being recorded, so you will get the recording after the call has ended. If you want to go to easyredmine.com and start a trial and engage with someone from our sales team, you can definitely do that. If you by any chance happen to be in Germany, in Hannover Messe at the end of March, we will have a lot of people from Easy Software there. Feel free to come up and talk to us. We'll be happy to tell you more. And then I guess there's nothing else for me to say. David, thank you so much for joining today's call. It was a pleasure having you here. Daniel, the same on your side. And since you are the best basketball player and the COO of Easy Software, I think it would be nice from me to give you like the closing statement.
Thank you. Thank everyone for participation. Hopefully this was inspiring and you are getting something out of this. I would just say, perceive AI as something that has a potential and can really be adopted as your resource if used right, and take security seriously. Makes sense. You will get the case study as Daniel promised, and that's it. Thank you so much. We will be closing the webinar now. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.